Witness the majestic beauty and fascinating culture of Ireland's four provinces, kingdoms once ruled by powerful clans of this ancient land. Past and present myth and legend merge in great reasons to visit Ireland. I'm director-producer Yvonne Collin, and I can't wait to introduce you to more of the inspiring people I've met on my travels.
This is Leinster, and welcome to County Kilkenny, and one of the best experiences in the county.
We approached the Loirat estate and they loved the idea and were willing to give us a plot of land here. It is solely family run. The fact that we built it all ourselves and the connection between us and the Loirat. They leave us use their grounds, which are not only historical but beautiful, manicured.
The one thing we pride ourselves on here is everybody that comes through this door to us is a VIP, and to go away feeling it was a really good experience for them. They'd learned something new.
Like, you're going back to 3000 BC, where the Sumerians in Mesopotamia started hunting with birds of prey. It's an amazing history. You're getting your falconry experience with a practicing falconer.
There's a bird to match each person that comes through, so it makes our experience very personable. You really get to know the bird that you're flying.
All the birds we have here are all hand-reared by us. Owls weren't traditionally used in falconry, but we have them here. Because sometimes you get a person that might be a bit nervous about a bird flying towards them. They're just the cutest little thing. And Maggie is the most gentle of the couple we have down there.
So Reggie, the male harrishawk that we used today, had to spend a little bit more time training him. He was reared with his brother Bertie, and they're totally polar opposites in personality.
All the harrishawks that are used here, all 12 of them, are all brothers and sisters, reared by us, hand-reared. And we're the only one that offer an eagle experience as well. So we're very, very proud of the whole thing.
After a walk around Kilkenny town, we move to the next province. This is Connacht, full of legends like the Táin, a 1st century epic tale involving the queen of this west of Ireland province, Maeve, the legendary warrior Cuchulainn, and the King of Ulster, Conchobar MacNassa, all in a battle for a prize bull. A magical place that will conjure up the truest sense of Irish heritage, whether myth or legend, is Connemara National Park.
Connemara National Park has been part of my life for over 30 years now. It's the most amazing, peaceful, calm, serene place I could ever imagine in the world. Letterfrack is situated in a very small little area of Connemara. It's a little village full of the most amazing people with poetry, art. The National Park, of course, is the main attraction here in the area of Letterfrack. I'm basically based at the visitor centre here, and we do guided walks, we do evening talks, we do a range of different programmes to suit everybody. Diamond Hill, which is one of our main attractions, it takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to climb to the top and back. The path is amazing. It's a gravel and boardwalk footpath, all signposted. Along the routes then you'll see various different plants and animals. You'll also have the most spectacular views, looking over onto Balnakill Bay, out onto the Atlantic Ocean and into the 12 Bends, which are a big feature of Connemara as well. We have the most amazing plant life, animal life. We have Connemara ponies who are just so welcoming and friendly, but we also have the most beautiful red deer. We have foxes, badgers, often seen as you're walking the trails. We also have birds here in the park, such as skylarks, meadow pipits, robins, finches. We have the beautiful Elliswood Nature Trail. Just amazing, magical place.
After a day walking this beautiful location, I take a 20-minute drive to Clifton for a delicious dinner. Guy's Bar on Main Street is a must-visit in Clifton for fantastic food and a warm and cosy atmosphere. Boasting a certificate of excellence, their extensive lunch and evening menu offers daily specials, a seasonal seafood menu, and delicious drinks to quench your thirst. Relax beside turf fires, catch up in cosy snugs, enjoy a day out with the family, all at Guy's Bar. A night in Clifton is always fabulous. I love to visit for the Arts Festival.
Next on our itinerary is Kylemore. Get here early in the morning and plan to stay a while.
I think what people really love about visiting Kylemore Abbey is the beauty of the place. As you can see behind us, I mean, you couldn't find a more idyllic setting. And the nature and the serenity of the area as well. I mean, you can escape to any corner of the estate and find your own little haven. So it's absolutely beautiful. We're also really, really lucky here in Kylemore that we have so many local staff, and you get that real Connemara, West of Ireland welcome. Kylemore is essentially, it was a wedding gift. That's how it came to be. It was built in 1867 by a man who came here on honeymoon. They fell in love with the area and he built an entire castle for his wife. So there's so many myths and legends in the area around Connemara and in Kylemore itself. And one of them is that on the mountains either side of the castle there were two giants that used to argue a lot, as giants did. And in one of these fights, one of them threw an iron, like a clothes iron, and it fell on the estate just past the Neo-Gothic church. And now, up until this day, people that go over there and they throw a stone over their heads, over the top of the stone, and make a wish. What people really identify with Kylemore Abbey is the history, the many generations of history that are in it, from its roots in the 1800s right up to today. And it's a living history with the Benedictine community being here for over 100 years and really leading the ethos of welcome here that everyone gets to experience when they come to Kylemore.
It's a 1-hour drive back to the jewel in Connacht's crown for music on the streets and in the pubs of Galway, the city of tribes. With excellent places to eat and fun traditional pubs like MP Walsh, previously a post office, or Garavan's Bar, a former Spirit grocery, but I have a uniquely Celtic flavoured experience to share with you now. Understand and learn the history of Galway, drink, and the moon with the Galway City Distillery. Here they distill spirits in conjunction with the solar, lunar, and ancient Celtic calendar. This unique venue offers a beautiful bar with exquisite cocktails compounded with local botanicals, as well as a spacious cafe. You can book tickets online to learn the history and art of distillation and then produce drinks to your own personal taste and flavour. However you choose to spend your time, Galway is a great reason to visit Ireland. The next morning, I caught the ferry at Rossaveel for a visit to Inishmore to experience Aran Island's camping and glamping. Inishmore is an island renowned for its stunning landscape and culture and home to one of Ireland's World Heritage Sites. A centre point on the Wild Atlantic Way, this is a purpose-built, eco-friendly campsite with luxurious glamping units and camping facilities. Walking distance to the ferry terminal at Kilronan, it overlooks Frenchman's Beach with stunning panoramic views of Galway Bay and the mountains of Connemara. I would love to stay for a week, but after 2 nights I was back on the early ferry to meet Henry in Kinvara to purchase the perfect memento of this trip. Let's meet the maker. Thin Line is the combination of Henry's extensive experience in the graphic industry and his lifelong passion for woodwork. In the picturesque village of Kinvara, you will find Henry working on his coastal maps of Ireland and on commissions of maps abroad. His unique homeware and gifts are crafted with inspiration, and they can be purchased online and in select craft fairs and galleries on the Wild Atlantic Way. Slán to Thin Line in beautiful Kinvara, and off I go to visit the inspired founders of a Haskra distillery, only 1 hour away.
It's an eco distillery powered completely with renewable energy. Now we source in renewable energy and we also generate our own energy on site, but it will be completely, from an energy point of view, zero emissions.
From Gareth and myself, jumping over that wall and seeing this beautiful building but covered in all sorts of trees and shrubberies and that, to actually having people walking through it and seeing our dream realised is huge. It's sometimes it's very hard for me to take in.
I think
you know,
the jumping over the wall bit was the funniest part. Thank God that nobody saw that. We want this to be not just come and see a whiskey distillery. We want this to kind of appeal to a broader, visitor. People coming here come to see something not just about the distillery, but also an old mill and how an old mill worked, 200, 250 years ago.
County Galway in itself has so much to offer. The whole of the county is so different. You've got, like Gareth said, you've got Connemara, beautiful landscape. You've got out in East Galway, the landscape here is amazing. You've got beautiful walks through here, and then you've got the vibrance of the city centre, which we're only 30 minutes away from the city centre here. which is amazing.
A lot of cool things to see and do here. So come visit East Galway.
Yeah, it's the place to be.
After a delicious snack and coffee in the cafe, and with my bottle of gin firmly under my arm, it was time to strike for County Mayo. It takes an hour and 40 minutes from Ahascra to the wonderful Jackie Clark Museum in Ballina.
A passion for community first was instilled many, many years ago when I was brought home to Ballina. I was born in England of Irish parents, and coming back here, I just totally and utterly fell in love with the place. Why do people come to visit the Jackie Clark? Well, they come to learn, if not to refresh themselves on their Irish history. Here we have 400 years of Irish history from the beginning of the 1600s right up until the year 2000. We have a beautiful house that Mayo County Council bought to house the Jackie Clark collection, and we have the most fabulous award-winning World Heritage Garden, which you can also sit and relax in. We have a wonderful group called Route Millennium Mayo, which actually gives the hidden gems within the middle of our county. So if you started in Castlebar, you'd have the wonderful Museum of Country Life and Thurlock House. You could travel on to the Michael Davitt Museum in Strade, beautiful gem just outside Foxford. When you leave there, you could stop off in the Foxford Woolen Mills and learn all about the Foxford Woolen Mills and their past and their history. Also have a lovely something to eat because they have a fantastic cafe up there. And Bleak Castle, which also houses a fabulous museum of its own on artefacts that the late Marshal Duran collected. And then, of course, we would send you to the Cage of Fields. It's really worth a visit, along with the landscape. You would send you back out to the wild Atlantic Way when you would hit Ballycastle.
Welcome back to our tour of great places to visit in Ireland. I'm exploring County Mayo in the province of Connacht. From the Jackie Clark collection, I also took Anne-Marie Forbes' direction and visited the Cage of Fields this morning, the most extensive Neolithic site in Ireland and the oldest agricultural landscape in the world. For afternoon delight, it was only 45 minutes to Carn Golf Links. For links golf at its very best in County Mayo, I visited the remote and rugged Mullet Peninsula. Carn offers world-class links golf in this dramatic environment among the highest natural dunes of any golf course in the world. A visit to Carn Golf Links in Belmullet is a spectacular experience. And when in Connacht, it would be rude not to visit Connacht Whisky Distillery, so after lunch it was 1 hour back to Ballina for the 3 p.m. tasting session. The Connacht Whisky Distillery sits on the banks of the River Moy in Ballina. Award-winning single malt Irish whisky has been produced here since 2016 and can now be enjoyed by whisky lovers around the world. I was delighted to learn more about the art of whisky distillation and to enjoy their range of spirits in Malarkey's Bar. It's a must-visit for any journey along the wild Atlantic Way, and it's safe to say I had a taste for it. My next stop was the Porterhouse Westport, and my driver got me there in 1 hour flat.
I'm a local man from Westport here, born and bred. One of the national papers ran a competition, and of all the towns in Ireland, Westport was voted #1. Everyone takes pride in the town, and it's a real local community, and you can sense it, the warm welcome when you come into it. So Westport has a huge amount to offer. We went and put the Porterhouse together here, which is in existence now for nearly 25 years, and we went down the traditional route, the good Irish pub feeling, that's what we like. The signature to the business is good drink, a warm welcome, brilliant music and a great atmosphere. We have a good core of staff that's been with us nearly since I started. We have a manager that's here 20 plus years. I think staff interacting with them is huge, that when they come in that they feel relaxed, that everyone engages, and it's like a big party family atmosphere when you walk in here. I'd like them to say that it's one of the best bars that they've been in. They've really enjoyed it, and they've got good music, something that they weren't expecting to over exceed their expectations. We've won the Best Music Award, we've won the Best Local Bar in Ireland, we have won the Best Traditional Bar in Ireland, and that is something that gives us great pride in. I think it's a great achievement, and it's a great morale for the staff and ourselves to keep us driving there to be the #1 here in Westport.
I surprised myself by getting up early the next day to explore Wild Nathan National Park.
I'm head guide here at the Ballycroy Visitor Centre, the Wild Nathan National Park. It's at this visitor centre that we'll give you an introduction to the Wild Nathan National Park. And it's within the National Park where you can go and explore the trails that bring you into the remote mountains of the Nathan mountain range and bring you back to a landscape that's been unaltered by humans for the last 4,000 years, where you can rediscover the dark skies over our park that inspired our ancient people from long ago. A major part of our programme is education. We welcome schools from all around the region here to learn about the ecology of our boglands and the importance of our boglands as habitats for our wildlife. It's Ireland's newest national park, and it's also Ireland's third largest national park. It's made up of over 15,000 hectares, and it's made up of the largest intact Atlantic blanket bog left in Western Europe. The Owenduff blanket bog is a habitat for a wide range of biodiversity as well as a carbon sink. Our national park is a treasure on the West of Ireland coastline. Mayo is the heart of the Wild Atlantic Way. It's here in Mayo where you can set out your adventures. You can head north to the beautiful coastline of our cliffs along North Mayo, to the beautiful sandy beaches in Achill, and to the rugged mountains of the Nathan mountain range and beyond. Come to Ballycroy to experience the real Ireland, the Ireland where there's a big welcome for you and where you can use it as a base as you discover North Mayo. It's in Ballycroy where you can lose yourself and find yourself.
An inspiring day deserves a great dinner, and a 40-minute drive back towards Westport takes me to a most delicious table in Morris.
Myself and my wife Ruth both own the tavern, bar and restaurant here in Morris in Westport. When I finished college, after stints in the Abbey Lynn Hotel in Clifton, I went to the States. When I came back from the States, the restaurant came up for lease. So both of us came out and had a look at it, and we're going to take it over for the summer. It didn't just happen that way. So we always had it in the back of our mind, and years later when it came up for sale, we just said, let's give it a go. The reason to come out and see us in the tavern is that we're passionate about our food. My mother, who ran a very highly recommended B&B, she used to do one table every night, whether it be 12 or 14 people, wherever possible. We use everything from home. And that inspired me. My mother, the taste of food, the love of food came from my mother. I'm a Eurotox chef. Our motto is local, fresh as much as possible. And that's what the soul of the tavern is. People say lobsters are expensive, and yes, they are expensive, but there is nothing sweeter than Clew Bay lobster. And especially during the summer when kids are coming by and they're passing the tank and they're looking in, sometimes I go and I pull a lobster out and pat it on the head for them, and put it back in. People should visit the county of Mayo because it's one of the most beautiful counties in Ireland. If you think from the top of Croagh, one of our most sacred mountains, that's nearly seen all over Mayo, looks like a perfect triangle. From the top of that you can see the 365 islands that are in Clew Bay, one for every day of the year. The activities around here are amazing, from our blue flag beaches to Old Head, to Carniskey, down to Keene Bay and Achill. Westport is the ideal touring point for seeing all of Mayo and Galway.
Too soon, it was one for the road, then back to Westport within 10 minutes in time for a nightcap in Malloy's. Next day, I was on Runa Quay, waiting on the early morning ferry to Clare Island. I'm not the greatest seafarer, but I was well looked after by Brian and the team.
It has been passed down through generation to generation, to my great-grandfather, my grandfather. My father passed it on to myself and my brother Alan. The mail service for years was always the most important connection that island people had with the outside world. We provide a passenger and cargo transport service to Clare Island and Inishturk, and we also have a connecting ferry service between Clare Island and Achill Island, which incorporates the Clew Bay Loop. Our crew are a great asset to our company. They're very welcoming, friendly and fun. They put a bit of humour to the job to make people feel welcome aboard. People visiting Westport would always include a day trip to Clare Island or even our neighbouring islands. The Clare Island people are very friendly and welcoming. There's great traditional music, there's great musicians based on the island. There are guest houses, B&Bs, you've Clare Island Lighthouse, and there's great history on the island between Grace O'Malley and the Pirate Queen, the old Cistercian Abbey. It provides a nice experience for anybody visiting the island. Our other brother Carl, he also has Clare Island whiskey, aged in casks aboard one of our old ferries. The Three-Tailed Fox is a painting on the ceiling in the old Cistercian Abbey here on Clare Island, and the only other place in folklore of a story of a three-tailed fox is in Japan, and that's the logo that Carl is using for the whisky.
I especially love Clare Island because I have never yet left that island without a smile on my face and a song in my heart. After 2 glorious nights, I was singing my way back to Leinster, where I'll have to take the grandchildren this summer. Ahoy, me little shipmates! Welcome to Pirates Cove in Wexford. This is family fun at its best. Ride the pirate train, play in the water bubbles, challenge your parents to bumper boats or go-karts. You can even celebrate your birthday at Pirates Cove in Courttown. Become a VIP, that's a very important pirate. Join the pirate crew and explore the fun caves. Pirates Cove has everything from crazy golf to bowling and plenty of treats besides. And to share another treat for all the family, I visited Adrian at the International Outdoor Adventure Centre.
Both myself and my wife are lifelong scouts, and it was always a dream that we'd have our own campsite for both the public and also a separate area for scouts and guides. And I think what binds it together, what is the heart of the IOAC, is our Outdoor Adventure Centre. So that's the beating heart of the whole campus. We put a lot of thought into the planning, not just on some of the buildings, but actually on the ergonomics of the site. And the way the site is set out, you think the site is set up specifically for you. That's why we invented this notion of a campus approach. Looking at our lake, which we purposely built ourselves, what we run on that is kayaking and raft building. The biggest hit that we introduced last year for couples is axe throwing. I don't know if they're trying to get their inner aggression out or whatever it is. There's part of couples therapy, I don't know. We've archery, then we have our high ropes experience, High Ropes Park. Last year in 2022, we won the Tourism Provider of the Year for County Wexford. This one recognised the whole campus, and I think it was a really important one for us. Our people are the biggest selling point here. We have up to 40 people, a lot of them are young people. We're blessed with the standard and the calibre of young people that we have here. We're still growing, we're still quite embryonic, so we have done a huge amount of infrastructural changes and different ways we provide our service that have come directly from customer feedback. It's their experience, and if we can do anything that can enhance that, like, why wouldn't you listen to it? Our daughters all work in the system as well. We're coming at it from a different angle. Bringing that into it helps us round the service off much better for the customer. Everything should be as they want it, you know. So feel every moment is our tagline. Wexford is the diamond of Ireland. If you're into adventure, if you're into seeing things, into history, if you're into shopping, everything is here and very accessible here in Wexford, especially this corner of Wexford.
I'll be back to feel every moment at the IOAC with my family. But for tonight's accommodation, I'm ready to indulge in high-quality comforts, including a personal cinema in my room. Now that speaks to the soul of a filmmaker. Steeped in Irish history, amid acres of County Wexford's coastal hillside are luxurious lodges and hotel-style rooms in nature. You'll get to unwind in a wild room with stunning sea views and underfloor heating. Unleash your adventurous side, then rejuvenate through wellness experiences. Tara Hill Estate is a beautiful place where nature and luxury go hand in hand. Ireland has it all. Everything from medieval castles to gastropubs in Leinster, which includes Dublin, our buzzing capital city. The truest legend of our 32 counties and all 4 provinces is our friendly folk. Make friends and easily find more great reasons to visit Ireland.